going on, YouTube? Big news of the day. The Jimmy Kimmel show has been canceled by ABC, indefinitely suspended. The left is furious about this. The free speech advocates are pissed because they've lost a world-class comedian in Jimmy Kimmel. And I mean, obviously sarcasm, but not to completely just jump the shark on this. We're going to get into it a little bit, but I don't know if you remember the state of late night television. Nobody's watching this stuff. Just recently in summertime, Colbert, or is it the Late Show? Yeah, the Late Show with Colbert, another late night show host, was canceled for financial reasons. These shows are just bleeding money, um, and nobody's paying attention to them. Like obviously, this is kicking up a giant thing. We'll get into it about the freedom of speech implications and all that kind of stuff. But overall, these shows aren't financially viable anymore. They're just bleeding membership, bleeding money, bleeding viewers. I don't know anybody who watches this shit like in under 50. Like I don't know a single person. Like honest to God, it's a similar boat like SNL and these other TV shows in general are on. We have like the quality has slipped. It's not factual. It's not news. It's not educational, and it's a comedy show that isn't funny. So I mean, nobody's watching it, and that's what it is. Um, there's YouTubers, streamers, Twitch streamers, all kinds of different things that get way more views, have way more influence, way more people watching in the target demographics, the younger crowd, than these shows. So we'll get into it here, but I think the overall argument is switching into a freedom of speech issue when it might honestly be a main focus around a financial issue, and I think that's what's more important here. But we'll discuss both sides of this as we go. If you didn't hear about it, his show was canceled after ABC and Disney, I guess, are in some kind of partnership. I don't know if they're under one umbrella. I don't even know. All these companies are owned by the same companies. It's all under one roof at this point. It's a giant conglomerate. Excuse me. Um, but it's turned into a mess. Basically, um, they have suspended the show due to their large affiliate, Nexstar, a company that owns other channels, TV channels, and things like that. Basically came out against his comments. We'll listen to this real quick. This is the comments that everybody's talking about that he made. Honest to God, before I even show you it, I don't think this is that bad. Um, it kind of almost seems like they were looking for a reason to fire him. We'll get into that too.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how
The main problem I think with this whole clip is that first part there where he's saying the MAGA gang desperately tries to characterize this kid as anything other than one of them. At this point, when he's saying this was 2 days ago, he knows all the up to date information on the killer and stuff has come out. This guy pretty much definitely was a non aligned person. That's like if you had to put him on the political spectrum, on the left. Like it's not confusing. It's pretty simple. He's blatantly lying. We'll get into that as far as some FCC rules and regulations. Whether I agree with them or not, I don't think so. But hey, I mean that's the rules as of right now. Did anybody know that was the rule? No, not really. I don't think anybody really ever cared. I think this is kind of a political misstep, um, in the sense of the FCC kind of putting some pressure on ABC and things like that. But we'll get into that after we watch the rest of this clip real quick.
hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Okay, this is the main reason I think this shit is failing and getting canceled. Colbert, now him, um, his past things that he's ran into aside completely, it's just not funny. I mean, they have a live studio audience. I don't know. People laugh at comedy shows in person more. People probably go to that and they laugh easier. It's hard to make somebody laugh when they're just sitting at home. I personally don't enjoy watching this shit. I don't watch it. I remember watching Jon Stewart a long time ago when I was a little kid. It'd come on late at night, but I mean, kind of funny. I was too young probably then to get any of the jokes. And now I'm old enough. I get the jokes, but they're just not funny. Obviously, I'm not the bastion of comedy. I'm not going to dictate what's funny here or there, but to me, to I don't know if you went out and polled 100 people that are, like I said, sub 40 or 50, maybe 5 out of 100 think that's funny shit. Like it's just not. It's just not. So that's why they're failing, in my opinion. Um, According to the left wingers on Twitter, they're coming for him because they are fascist, anti free speech, authoritarian dictators, and and the country's over. But um, I think the real reason is right into here. So this article by the Deadline. In a statement, Nexstar said Nexstar owned and partnered television stations affiliated with the ABC television network will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will release the show with other programming in its ABC affiliated markets. Um, And Nexstar's announcement was soon followed after ABC's decision to pull the show indefinitely. Sinclair Broadcast Group, the largest of ABC affiliate groups, had also objected to the Kimmel comments and said it would not lift the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Okay, so you watch the comments. I don't think they're that bad. Bad taste, sure. Are they the worst thing that's ever been said on that show? I don't think so. They went as far as to say have Kimmel make a direct apology to the Kirk family and for the network to make a meaningful donation to them and Turning Point USA. I mean, that's crazy. To me, this sounds politically motivated by the Sinclair Broadcast Group uh, company. And if that's the case, if they are a private company that's ran by people that have that strong political beliefs, they're allowed to do whatever they want. If they want to use their weight and push on ABC and say, cancel this guy's show, I disagree with what he stands for, and we are in a big time business relationship where we make a lot of money together, you're pissing me off. That's not a free speech problem. Do I disagree with it that they should get that upset about it? Sure, whatever, but it's not. It's their opinion. They're allowed to do whatever they want. If Nexstar's in the same boat, I can't tell them what to do. The problem is going to come when it gets to this. Basically, both Nexstar and Sinclair have been lobbying the FCC over regulatory issues. Nexstar, the largest station group in the country, has a major merger before the Trump administration. They're trying to acquire another company with a bunch of stations in a bunch of states. So the FCC came out and basically gave a little veiled threat saying, like, hey, if they don't do something about it, we're going to have to look into ABC. That's where we get into a problem area here. When the government comes down into everyday life and says, you're not allowed to say that. We've talked about it before. There's limits on free speech, but this doesn't cross the line, in my opinion. That clip isn't bad. But when the government comes in and leans on a company, a television company, a news network, uh, whatever you want to call it, a broadcasting company, we're going to run into an issue. The FCC chair, I don't know, he's posting fucking memes and shit on X and on Twitter. If it's public pressure, it's fine. If it's government pressure, we got a problem. The fun part of this argument, though, basically, oh wait, I forgot about this part. Sorry. This is just a clip of some FCC rules where they're basically saying this rule prohibits broadcast licensees or permittees from the broadcasting false information concerning a crime or catastrophe. I think that would count. The licensee knows this information is false. He knows that's false at that point when he said that. It is foreseeable that the broadcast of the information will cause substantial public harm. I mean, kind of vague. Broadcast of the information does not in fact directly cause substantial public harm. I mean, he's getting on there lying to people. Whether that causes substantial public harm, I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, just let the show die. The shit was going to die anyway. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody really cares about late night TV anymore. Let it fall by the wayside, I think, is the important part. Now, the real important part of this is the entire left political side of the aisle losing their mind, saying Trump's a fascist, the White House is doing authoritarian shit, this is the death of free speech, what happened to the right defending free speech, and all these things. All I've seen is a ton of people misusing the word fascism. So, I found somebody post a tweet about it. Fascism is characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forced suppression of opposition. They highlighted that in there. Belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived interests of the nation. Honestly, should have highlighted that part because Trump's the last person that's this kind of guy right here. He's all about individual interests, not about the national interest or anything like that. So that's where we're at. The left is saying, where did the protectors of free speech that were the right side of the political aisle go? They're saying, like, why are you letting Trump and the administration come down and put pressure on a TV network? Because I don't know if people have such a short memory they just forgot what has happened in the past couple of years or not. But I got a couple examples here showing kind of how far we've gone in the last, ever since COVID. I mean, things have accelerated like insane pace. Like you can't barely keep up with it, to be honest. We fully moved into the left as everybody I disagree with is a fascist and a Nazi, and there's a serious like the boy who cried wolf situation going on here, because if you call everybody a Nazi, nobody's a Nazi. Like, you can't just say it every single time just because you disagree with people. Because then when somebody actually does something fascistic or authoritarian, then people are like, you say this every single time. You've been calling people Nazis since they used the wrong pronouns and saying your words are violence and all this other kind of shit. It doesn't work that way. So when we get to this point, everybody just tosses it aside because it's like, who gives a fuck? In my personal opinion, if the FCC is leaning on ABC, that is authoritarian. Does it make it fascist? No, I don't think so. Does it mean Nazism has taken over the United States? I don't think so either. I think we're blowing stuff out of proportion. The United States is set up in a way, checks and balances, but the president is an authoritarian figure. They have a ton of power and they use it how they see fit, whether we like it or not. And then they'll be voted out if you don't like it. We have had authoritarian presidents in this country throughout the history of the country. It's not a new thing. Worse things have happened in the past. What was Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus during the Civil War? Could just throw you in prison with no trial, no reason or anything like that. Was he called authoritarian? Yes. Did the country survive? Also, yes. So, if they go after ABC and say, hey, we don't like what this guy's saying, get rid of him. Do I like it? No. Is it the worst thing that's ever happened and now the country is a fascist nation? Also, no. Like, I just don't think we need to push it that far. And the funny thing really is the hypocritical nature of the whole thing, where it's the left saying, oh, the right's a bunch of hypocrites. Now you won't defend free speech, blah, blah, blah. The right's going, you didn't defend our free speech in the past. Why should we defend you now? The argument makes perfect sense to me. If you're not defending my free speech, why should I defend your free speech? And you say, well, it's the principle that matters. Well, it's my principle. But if you're not going to defend my principle and use it against me and try to say, well, yeah, well, defend me when I do it, but I'm going to try to take it from you or put you in prison or whatever else when it's my turn to do so, I'm not going to defend you. It's not ever going to happen. And the problem with that is this is some clips of Jimmy Kimmel, who they're saying, oh, we should feel bad for the free speech guy, just a couple years ago, 2 years ago.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
If you got anything out of that clip, it's that this show has been fucking unfunny for 2 years straight. Like, whoa, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just bad. He's right there cheering the firing of Tucker Carlson, a guy he obviously disagrees with. I think this is right after Carlson was fired after the Dominion lawsuit and all that stuff that went down with Fox. Fox got its absolute pantsuit off by Dominion, the voting machine company, after some election claims. He's cheering for it. Okay, so he's cheering the firing of a political opponent, basically. And now the right's cheering the firing of a political commentator, news comedian, whatever you want to call him. And then the left saying, why don't you defend him? He personally, this is a little different. I mean, it's like reputation wise, it's like a give and a take. If I don't know your opinion on it, my default position would be defend their free speech. If I know you've come out in the past and said, take their free speech from them, like punish them for things they've said, and then when it happens to you, you go, why aren't you defend me, goddammit? Why would I do that in a million years? And then the clip right underneath, like I just pulled it up separately. Do you guys not remember COVID? Because this is what was happening during COVID.
It was not a fun Labor Day weekend COVID-wise. The number of new cases is up more than 300% from a year ago. Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy. If
you didn't take the vaccine, we shouldn't help you. Just die. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
We've still got a lot of pandimwits out there. People are still taking this ivermectin. This poison, the poison control centers have seen this spike in calls from people taking this livestock medicine to fight the coronavirus, but they won't take the vaccine.
You remember that livestock medicine when they turned Rogan yellow on CNN and said he was taking a horse paste when ivermectin's like super widely taken medication around the world for its intended purpose by humans, not horse medicine. They've been doing this shit the whole time, man. And I mean, COVID exacerbated it because it really put like the divide on. But I mean, that's Kimmel doing his thing. I didn't pull it up, but I don't know if you remember the Karl Malone blackface thing he did, or the thing where he's like acting like he's fucking a chick in public by the railing, like as a joke for their comedy show. And it's like during cancellation, when they were canceling people a couple of years ago, canceling them over like old tweets, and they're digging up shit you said as a teenager and trying to take you down over it. They didn't go after him because he agrees with them. So you want me to be like, no, he deserves free speech too, even though he'll take it from you as soon as he gets the chance. As soon as he gets the chance, he'll advocate for your firing and tell you if you don't agree with me, because the science at that point was saying do what we say or you should deserve to die. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? COVID right here. Supreme Court has blocked President Biden's ruling requiring workers at large companies to be vaccinated, masked, or tested weekly. I don't know if you remember this. They were trying to shove down fucking huge vaccine mandates on federal workers, military members, get fired if you don't take it. Big companies with over 100 employees, affected some 84 million workers. Fines, I believe they're in like $13,000 range. I think it says down here somewhere. What was it? Yeah, right here. Despite the court's order, the White House said companies should proceed with President Biden's vaccine mandate, which carries fines up to $700,000 on companies that do not comply. Is that authoritarian? Sounds pretty authoritarian. These same people on Twitter that are saying, "What? Oh, my free speech. That's the Constitution you're stepping on." You just did it. You just did it. My personal thought, if you want to talk about principle, is this is wrong. Leaning the FCC on ABC to cancel a TV show host that you don't like what he said, also wrong. This is more wrong. I think this is worse. This hurt a lot more people. But it doesn't mean they're not both wrong. But if you ask me to defend you after you didn't defend me, I'm talking metaphorically here, not me personally, why in the fuck would I do that? There's no reason I would ever do that. So I think the fair rule is you defend my rights. And if you have a history of doing that, I'll defend yours. If you don't, especially if you have an explicit history of not defending them and trying to take them in the sense of however you want to say it, punishments, lose your job, fines to companies, put people in jail for things you disagree with, however far you want to take it, I'm not going to defend you. You guys let me know what you think. Leave a like on the video, sub. Appreciate it if you come back, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.